So as you can see from the very clickbaity title, I didn't know what else to call it really. Summer loving fragrances. Just fragrances for summer. There's no smut involved. Well, I mean, probably not. It's just these kind of, generally speaking, fresher, more summery ones that I don't mention much. There's some that I mention a lot in there. I thought I'd try and do that thing again where I'm talking about fragrances I don't mention a lot. It's just some nice fragrances to wear in the summer. I mean, it's not technically summer. I don't know if it'll be technically summer when I post this video. Probably not. But it's getting there. I mean, it's actually quite chilly today. See, I'm in a hoodie and that, so it is what it is, isn't it, really? That's it. A waffly intro for no reason. Let's go. So first up is one I've not mentioned for years, probably. That's Bvlgari's Man Extreme. It's kind of a bit forgotten about nowadays, isn't it? You know me, I'm not much of a freshy kind of lover. But this one is, it's grapefruit, it's bergamot, it's quite juicy and fresh. There's also quite a bit of vetiver and woods. I think there's probably a little splash of the old ambroxan in this, but it's kind of an older school one, so it's not, the ambroxan isn't, you know, choking or deadly or anything like that. But what makes this one stand out is there's probably a fancy accord, but there's cactus fruit in it, which adds a sweetness, is all I can say. A weird sweetness. That, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be able to tell if it was cactus or not. But yeah, it's good. And obviously the nice vetiver in the base and that really lifts it up. It's almost like, a good way of describing this one, it's like a warm, ambery orange coloured smell. It's really nice. And it's fresh and it's lovely. This is one that you'd probably, you know, wear to go to something like that, like a daytime kind of cocktail party, you know, all the fresh punch and all of that there, and it kind of complements it. It is very lovely. At one point this was quite bigged up and adored, but you know, in the era of PR, these sorts of fragrances kind of die out, and there's a lot of things similar-ish to it. It's nothing, you know, wildly different or what have you. I think, don't quote me, I think it's Alberto Morillas who made it, so you know what you're getting. Kind of generic, kind of very mass appealing, and I like a lot of things, but good all the same. So that's Bvlgari Man Extreme, obviously from Bvlgari. We then have from Kilian, Playing with the Devil, which is one I mention an awful lot. I don't say in ones I don't really mention, but I think this one suits the season. It's how would you describe it? It's got citrus in it, obviously. It's kind of this dark, rich, syrupy citrus. There's some florals. I don't think the florals really particularly stand out, so they're not worth kind of mentioning. It's kind of got this boozy, I think it's peach or apricot, something like that. It's kind of the main fruit, and it's kind of boozy, a bit like a dark, rich peach schnapps. You know, like one of them cocktails, I can't remember what they're bloody called, the sunset ones. And then it's got this kind of resinousness in the base. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is like a dark, warm, rich, lovely, sweet, tropical punch. And it kind of, again, this is, if the other one was like a daytime kind of cocktail party or whatever, this one will be the evening one, kind of sunset, you know, some DJ playing in the background, and just people enjoying cocktails by the beach and being very chilled and that. And it's Kilian in the sense that it's not the most unique fragrance you're ever going to smell, but it's done so well. And like I say, that kind of dark, rich, sweet fruitiness is really, really delightful. And then the kind of more resinous kind of touch in the base just goes together nicely. And it's not gonna, you're not gonna sniff and go, oh, I've never smelled this before, but you're gonna sniff and go, oh, this is really good. And what I'd probably need to stipulate here is I think this one is still about, but this is pre-reformulation, the one I've got. It's not in the black bottle, it is in the white bottle. But obviously over the last few years, it's probably still fairly old. But over the years it will have been reformulated to death. It's Kilian, Estee Lauder. So yeah, I was playing with the devil from Kilian. Next is a big one. Again, we're talking beachy again, and that's Carnal Flower from Frederic Malle. Now there's a reason this one is so famous and so loved and revered. It's so good. It really is. Obviously it's predominantly a tuberose fragrance. There is a green element through it, but it is more your kind of sweet, big, flowery, petally tuberose. But what makes this one kind of stand out is there's melon in there, which gives it this watery, what a melon's like. It smells like melon, all right. And then there's obviously more going on with it. There's some woods and musks and all of that, and a kind of, again, another sort of boozy element. But it is this kind of big, almost banana-y, rich tuberose in it. That's the star of it, and it's done, as you can imagine, with the melon. There's the sandalwood in the base or something. It gives it this kind of almost coconutty tropical beach kind of feel about it, which just really sets this one aside. As far as big tuberose fragrances, I can't think of one similar to it even nowadays. Certainly not done as well as this. Again, it's probably been reformulated to death now, but this is kind of, you know, you're not going to a normal beach party. This is your kind of very posh, snooty beach kind of party, you know, somewhere awful like Dubai, you know, no human rights and all that, just very rich people who've got very rich from exploitation, that kind of thing. So it's nice for them that anyone smells and they're just going to think, wow. It might not be one you can necessarily wear, but as far as being tuberosy and what have you, it's well up there as one of the best. I also realise I'll never get my invite to Dubai. Don't really care. Alright, so that's Carnal Flower from Frederic Malle. Next is another big favourite of mine, kind of continuing that beachy theme, I guess. That's Forbidden Bloom from Mabelle Rama. Yeah, I mention it a lot, don't I? That's because it's really good. It's predominantly, I mean, it starts off with this mega juicy, dark kind of pear and peach, and then the peach probably lingers on a bit more. There's kind of that boozy, you know, stewed pear. It's lovely. And then underneath it all is this kind of, not quite naughty muskiness, but it's got that wink. It's got this great allure to it, and there's, I think that there might be patchouli in the base. It's kind of got this darkness. It's not the same by any means as Playing with the Devil, but it's that same kind of rich, kind of naughty fruitiness, that kind of carnal feel, and it's delicious, and it kind of makes you feel like, you know, maybe after this beach parties that you've been having, you know, you've gone to a quiet spot on the beach and you're getting home, you know, that kind of thing. And it's just really delectable, really well done. And then there's a nice kind of woodiness in there, and it's the muskiness that I think helps with darker fruits to make this kind of that one with a bit of a nod and a wink, if you get what I mean, kind of thing about it. And it feels slightly boozy. I mean, there might be cardamom or something in there that might add this element to it. It's delicious, and it's really lovely. And again, kind of your late night kind of beach, you know, a private kind of beach fragrance. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's Forbidden Bloom from Mabelle Rama. Next is, I think it's the only gifted one in this, and that's from Kajal, and it's Masa. It's gifted quite a while ago, but you know, transparency, it's not hard to do, is it? But yeah, anyway, it's predominantly based around a Mabelle plum, which is it a yellow plum? I don't blooming know. but it doesn't have the kind of dark sweetness of a plum. It has a kind of fresher sweetness. Is it even a plum technically? Who knows? But it's kind of got this crisp kind of lovely sweetness in it. And what helps with this one is there's a cardamom which gives it a fizz and a bubble and a brightness, and then there's obviously quite a woody base, and that there's more going on. There's some florals in there, but it is predominantly about this kind of fresh lovely fruit with that kind of woodiness there predominantly. And then, like I say, the cardamom adds the sparkle and the fizz to it. And how I describe this one is kind of like something in tonic, if you like. It's not like a gin and tonic, but it's like got that kind of tonic water, fresh vitality, if that's even a word. And it's just very refreshing and nice and easy to wear. It's not too big, it's not too in your face. So again, on a hot day, just the smell of this lovely, sweet, pleasant plumminess there. It's lovely. I'm not going to waffle on for the sake of it. That's Kajal's Masa. I told a lie, so I'll just get the next gifted one out. That's Utopia Vinyl Coco, or Coco Vinyl from Kilian, 2 Ks together. This was gifted quite a while ago, but this one is stunning. This is your kind of creamier suntanny lotion one. I think there is coconut in it. There's obviously woods and stuff. There is that kind of suntanny, thick creaminess, tropical flowers. But what makes this one kind of different and stand out, it's not just a beautiful muskiness about it. It's got honeysuckle in it, which is quite prominent actually. And it's kind of a little hint of sharpness, but it's got that sweet, nectary, kind of a little bit green honeysuckle going through it. And it just works really, really well. What it does is, this maybe without it would be too thick and creamy for me. I wouldn't call it an over thick and creamy one, but you know what I mean. I'm quite sensitive to that kind of thing. But the honeysuckle going through it is the thing that really makes this stand out, and it's lovely. And with it having that kind of beachy, suntanny lotion feel about it, but nicely done, calmly done, makes it perfect for summer really, doesn't it? And again, snuggles on the beach, that kind of thing. Sand in places you don't really want sand, that'll never come out again. A few kind of scrapes and scars from it, you know. So that's Utopia Vinyl Coco from Kajal. Then we have one again I mention a lot, a big love of mine. It's not the same as playing with the devil, but it's got that grapefruity, lovely red grapefruit loveliness about it. That's Wild Summer Crush. This is such a gorgeous one. The grapefruit, I think there's another citrus in there, it's probably orange or something like that, gives this really kind of, like you're literally biting into them, this kind of mouth watering, mouth puckering, lovely sweetness going through it, and it's so fresh and but again it's got this darker feel about it, which I just bloody love. There will be some florals in there. There is a kind of something a bit naughty and dirty. Maybe it's an indolic touch of one of the florals. It's not over the top, but sometimes you can definitely smell it. And then it's got this kind of lovely woodiness and resinous woodiness in the base, so it's kind of again warm and very smooth. It's really smooth, but it does proper make your mouth water. Again, if you know a kind of red grapefruit, it's tart, but it's a bit sweeter than your average, your normal kind of grapefruits, isn't it? So it works, and it's just one of them people will smell you and you'll just smell it insanely fresh and lovely. And again, it kind of cancels out that heat, and you know when you got to wear a fragrance when it's hot, it can be quite stifling, but this has enough tartness and enough kind of you know, that puckeriness again. Perfect. That's April Aromatics Wild Summer Crush. Next is a warmer one, again grapefruit. Now for someone who doesn't love citrus, I've got an awful lot of grapefruit ones here. Again, it's a kind of redder one. It's Secret of Success from State of Mind. Now this one is predominantly, again, grapefruit and tea. Now the tea obviously adds a lovely fresh kind of calmness to it all. It's quite smooth, it's quite almost effervescent, but it's got that wateriness that tea has, and that kind of calm chilledness, and the grapefruit just adds a lot of life to it. What there's also in it, in the tiniest touch, although a lot of people seem to smell a lot more of this than me, is cinnamon, which just gives it that warm, sweet spice. To me, it's not that strong, it's more about the grapefruit and the tea. But again, it works beautifully, and I think this has got kind of a very nice, smooth base. And again, I think, I never know what season this is for. I might have bought it out of season, what it's intended. In the summer, it's lovely because it has a warmth about it. Again, from that cinnamon, but it's light and fresh enough to wear it, but that little bit of warmth is like a summer's night. Whereas I think also in the winter this works because it's got all these beautiful fresh citrusy feels, the tea, but the warmth of it again warms up the day. It's a gorgeous fragrance. That's a secret of success from State of Mind. Then of course there had to be a Chanel in here. It might seem like a strange one, but it's Chanel number 5, and it's the EDT, which I definitely want a full proper bottle of. It's got, obviously it's very similar to the EDP, but what it is about it is there's something about, I think the iris is a bit more prominent and it feels a bit more fruity, and the kind of soapy aldehydes and lily of the valley in there are amped up a bit, so it makes it feel cleaner. There's something about the musks and probably the patchouli that kind of elevate this up with the fresher feel, and it's just very it's one of them you want to go sniff someone's neck. Now I suppose the fruitiness could be from the ylang ylang as well, couldn't it? But with the original, it's a very kind of, it's not so much a neck sniffer one, is it? It's not that, doesn't have that kind of feel about it. You just think, my god, that smells good, that's very classy and elegant. Whereas the EDT pushes a bit more kind of sultry in a strange way, with its freshness and that. It's just, and it's more alive, it's very vivacious. I've used that word again, haven't I? It's just, I wouldn't say I'd pick either one over the other one. They're just different occasions, and there's enough of a kind of difference between the two. And this one obviously works better in the warmer weather, so that's Chanel number 5, the EDT. And finally is one I mentioned an awful lot, and rightly bloody so. That's Pitching Woo from One Way Bridge. This is again peach. There's a lot of peach in this video as well. There's kind of peachy touch through this. Kind of initially humbuggy. That's like a toffee mint kind of feel there. That kind of just blends into it as you get this kind of ice creamy touch. And the ice cream again is weird to describe. It's both fresh and bright. It's not thick, creamy or sickly, but also warm. A warm ice cream one with that peachy feel, and also as it goes through it gets fizzy, so it becomes like an ice cream float. It's just unique. It is a gourmand without being a big sticky awful gourmand. It's the most unique kind of one of this ice creamy touch that I've ever smelled. It's supposed to be based on proper Italian gelato, so again takes you maybe to an Italian cafe, warm sunshine, a nice bit of, I don't know what they drink in Italy, asti, I don't know, they drink other stuff, don't they? But it's lovely and fresh and vibrant and unique. And again, it has them Elise puts these magical musks in it, which gives it this really like feel. So that's Pitching Woo from One Way Bridge. So that's it. It's hopefully very brief. Just some not often mentioned ones and stuff. Because again, we don't, I mean there's citrus ones in here, but slightly different and more unique ones. We can't all just wear freshy, boring citruses through the summer, can we? Sometimes. I don't live in a hot climate, so I don't really know. I suppose if you live somewhere where it's hot and dry all the time, then that makes sense. But here in the UK, it's, you know, the weather's all over the shop, so these could fit any sort of occasion and that. I'm just waffling for the sake of it, aren't I? What about you? What's your kind of summer loving fragrances? Not that sort of loving, as you could see, but what sort of things do you go for? Do you go for the more fruity or the floral? Is it very hot where you live, or are your summers quite rubbish like ours? Right folks, thanks, bye.